Hi guys on Zoom. Thank you. I'm driving down the road on Indiana. Thank you, Lacey. Was just checking that the Facebook group people could hear me clearly because I have my headphones in for my Zoom to get me a good recording. But I didn't know if the background noise in the car would be too much for the Facebook that's going to be just live and without any microphone. So it looks like it's warm and sunny at home, Larissa. I see the sun shining over you. No, it's not. Is it cold? I can't hear it. I mean, you're on mute. But anyway, you may be somewhere else that's fun. But I have been up here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, you guys, because of Arbonne, because I get to have Amber Willard in my life. And I know you guys probably know who she is and love her and pray for her and her family too. But we got to be up here and just help her for a little bit while she's taking care of Natalie. And we are on our way home and driving home and maybe coming home a few days early because I don't know how many of you also know that one of our dear Arbonne sisters, Angie Dagley, who has been in my business since 2006 and in my life as a sister and a friend, has passed away and lost her battle with breast cancer. And so I'm going to get to go to her celebration of life. And you guys, just my heart, can be heavy and sad in these situations, or it can just be grateful that I have gotten to have the time with these amazing people and the relationships that I have had. So I am so grateful to be here with all of you guys and have this to focus on. You guys know this is my favorite thing to do. And today we get to talk about, we're on Girl Wash Your Face, chapters 18. Kelly, if you guys can't hear me, I put a note on there that you guys can put me on, go get on the Zoom if you can't hear well on Facebook, because I can't do both with good audio, but we're good on Zoom. So you guys we're on chapters 17 and 18, and chapter 17, really they're both about, like, one's talking about weight and being unhealthy in our weight and our mindset with that. And the other chapter 18 is talking about addictions and alcohol and substance abuse and things like that. So they're both kind of, to me, the same thing, you guys. An addiction is an addiction, whether it's food, alcohol, drugs. Addiction is addiction. And I love that we get to do Arbonne and have Arbonne Healthy Living to learn how to have it. So these are not easy chapters, and if you know somebody personally, or maybe you struggle personally with any of these issues, it's okay, you guys. What I love is that you're here and you're growing yourself, which no matter what we do, we are growing ourselves and we can get better ourselves, and we're learning how to get better ourselves. And we are also then going to be more equipped to help and turn around and help other people be able to be empowered and equipped and supported to help themselves. And we can tackle these issues. Even though they're tough issues, they're hard to talk about, they're painful for everyone that's involved with any of it. It is something that if we hit it head on, we bring it out in the open, we can't lose in it, you guys, because we're created to be victorious. We have everything inside of us we need to be able to get back on the track and the plan that was made for our life when we were created, and we just have to know the way to get there. And so that's what we're all working on and helping each other do on this, yes, the best version of ourselves. So you guys, what I wanted to say also, I'm just write my notes down because I have to get my thoughts out there of you guys, is that we can choose to be a light. We can choose to be a light in this world no matter what we're going through. Maybe you're going through one of these struggles that is personally hard for you. Maybe you know somebody, but either way, we can be a light for the world. I mean, just like these people, that anybody that struggles and is going through something hard, when you do it with healthy coping skills, you're a light for the world that helps give the world hope that when they struggle with these same similar things, or even something different but just hard, that they can do it better because they see other people learning how to do it better too. And you are that light for the world. So people will listen to you and especially when they see you do it well, if they want to grow and learn. So that's, just know that our hard is sometimes what we have to go through. And she says that in these chapters, in order to be able to help somebody else. And I believe that we try on here. So I know whenever sometimes people come into this business, and we're health and wellness business, you found this business because you needed to get healthy in some way, shape, or form. A lot of times it's with weight. A lot of times people come here because they've tried desperately to be able to get healthy with their weight, and they think weight, we think health, but you got connected to Arbonne because somebody cared enough to ask you if you would like some help. And I love that you're here, but I will also tell you, then sometimes you get inspired to go, okay, I do want to do this business. I find myself sharing this with other people and helping other people learn what it is I've learned on my journey. That's how you get to be a light. And you may not be where you want to be with your health yet, but you are on your way there. And that's what I want you guys to know, is that we don't have to be perfect to be a light in this world. You know, people, we in Arbonne get a better image of what real health looks like. And it's not just a person that's skinny or somebody who, you know, puts only their best version of themselves out there. We learn that being your best, being healthy, is being aware and moving in the direction for your health that's going to help you make the changes that you now are equipped, empowered, and most importantly, you believe you can have for your health. And that is what you are able to do. But I will tell you what happens sometimes, a lot of times, is people are insecure in giving and sharing this information with other people if you don't feel like you're at your goal yet. You guys, nobody's at their goal yet. We're all here. Pause in your recording. That was me exaggerating this so you hear me. We are all on a journey, and we are all on a journey for our health. Every day, we are all working as hard as you are, even if you may not be where you want to be healthy just like you. And if that is what you're doing, is you're on a journey, you're working to be healthy, to be your best, you are fully equipped right now, just like you are, to go out there and help the world know how to get on this journey with you. And that's what we do. And you guys, I want you to gain confidence. I was listening to John Maxwell's recap of his week. I love doing that on Saturday before my call. And he talks about the word presence. And he said, you know, do you want to be somebody who makes a presence when you walk in a room? And he said, the people that do that whenever people walk in, they turn around and they notice, it's people that have confidence. And he said, so if you want to be a person that has a presence whenever you're in a room or a crowd, he said, you need to work on gaining your confidence. You gain confidence by believing in you. You don't gain confidence by being perfect, because none of us are, you guys. And if that's your thinking, if you think, oh, that person is so confident because she's so good. No, she's just confident. He's confident because he knows he understands, he has awareness, and he's on a journey to being a better version of himself every single day. And that is what will give you the confidence to go out there no matter what, even though you're not your perfect size, whatever that might be in your head for you, and you can go out there and share with your world how they can join you and be equipped and supported and empowered by you to be able to get the healthy version of you. I will tell you, another word that he said was skeptics. That was a word this week that he talked about. And you guys, he says there are going to be skeptics in our life. And if we, don't look perfect, and if people don't want to believe that you could help somebody, he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, just don't be one of them. Don't be a skeptic, but don't let a skeptic hurt you on your journey to be out there making a difference for other people. So they said that the skeptics are people that, are not believers. They want to criticize, whatever. Let them, show them. Go there and show them. And at the same time, I'm going to challenge you. I am challenging you, but challenging you in a way that it is, maybe like for you, but I'm also going to challenge you and maybe step on some toes here, because if you aren't doing all that you can do and on your journey to get healthy with your weight or with alcohol use or any kind of substance abuse, you guys, or use, yes, there are drugs that are good for you, but then there are times that we abuse it for whatever reason. We need to make sure that we are not creating skeptics because we are not believable. And it's okay if you are not believable because, they're the skeptic and they don't see you looking perfect in their eyes. That's okay. But if you're not doing what you need to do and they're watching you take a downward spiral instead of fighting your way up that spiral that we're on, then they're going to be skeptic that you really are going to be somebody who has changed your mindset and gotten healthy, to be able to help them get healthy and truly sell Arbonne, not just products, business, lifestyle, all of it. So we have to know we are a walking billboard. We don't have to be perfect in our billboard, but we have to be making progress. And we have to be willing to be humble and honest about where we are, how we got there, and what we are doing to get out of there and to move forward and go in a different direction than the unhealthy direction that we were on before Arbonne came into our life and taught us how to be better. So that is where we are able to be, a billboard, but make sure you're living blameless as much as you possibly can. And you guys, that doesn't mean perfect. I love, my whole passion in Arbonne is healthy living as a lifestyle. It's not healthy living perfect. It's healthy living as a lifestyle, because healthy living as a lifestyle is not perfect. It's 80-20. It's, you may need to jumpstart your health with a perfect 30 days of clean eating and healthy living, but then maybe do it if your health is in a crisis. You may need to be perfect and try to be as perfect as you can for as long as you can until you get to the point where you're out of a health crisis. But if you're not in a health crisis and you're just trying to get on a journey for your health, be perfect for however long you need to, but then just know it's progression after that. And if you want to just go in progression mode and your health isn't in a crisis, then power to you, but just get on the journey. And that, I really believe, is what we want to exemplify and model in Arbonne more than anything else. I have health as the highlight reel. What we see out there, you guys, is a highlight reel for so many people. And you may even think you see our highlight reel because maybe we've been on our journey longer than you have, not just because we've been in Arbonne longer than you, but because we've maybe had an environment that was healthier longer than you have had a healthy environment for your life. And so that's where you want to make sure that you're not looking at somebody's what appears to be highlight reel and comparing it to yourself. We know. Comparison is the worst thing you can possibly do. You can respect, you can appreciate, and then want to know and become more like somebody that you respect and appreciate as an expert in health. You can do that, and that's going to help benefit you. But you can't look at somebody, who looks great. Who I always think of, you guys, is Terry Fisher. Who doesn't think she looks great? But I also know there are pictures of Terry Fisher, and she knows, and she would share them with you, that don't look like she does today. Her health has been a progression as much as my health has been a progression. Without sounding braggadocious, I know some people think I have never struggled with my weight or whatever. You guys, for some of you who've been around long enough, I posted a picture of what I looked like whenever I was 15, 16 years old. And some people didn't even recognize me because I was way more unhealthy then whenever I lived in an environment that had no clue what health was. That's the beauty of what we do. but make sure that you're not looking at a highlight reel of, you know, the movie stars out here that she talks about, or even just the Arbonne stars that you see. You guys, I love looking. I've been here long enough in Arbonne, 16 years, before we had healthy living, that the people that you see that look amazing today, it's because of Arbonne. They have, when people decide to embrace the health and wellness part of Arbonne, that's whenever you truly see them transform into the most well-oiled version of themselves that you see today. I mean, you look at people, they are more healthy today because they've been on this journey, and now Arbonne has taught them not only how to take great care of their skin, but also energy and vitality time. And so that's where you got to be careful that you're not comparing yourself to anyone, because everyone is on their own journey and is going at their own pace. However, you have now been given the secret sauce, and now you can move forward at rapid pace on your journey towards health and get there as fast as you want to get there, depending on how much you want to commit to being on this journey with for yourself. So looking, acknowledging, we talked about that. Okay, I do want to say, like, what she's talking about to you guys in here is she's talking about the pain that she suffered and how she found comfort in her food. And I don't want to minimize this. I have seen firsthand what this looks like. I mean, in my immediate family, I have seen what this kind of emotional trauma that they have suffered as a family can do to people, and how they find that comfort in their food. I've seen it in my own family, and it is painful. Like, I not minimizing if that's happened to you, and that's why you find your comfort in your food in this chapter, like she's talking about. But what I want us to know too is that she also talks about, and every successful person talks about, and I want you to start thinking in this mindset and working to get there, is that just because that was us when we were a child, it doesn't have to be us today. That doesn't have to be how we think or what we internalize today, because we're adults, you guys. We can learn, and we can grow, and we can get past those hurts. We don't have to own them and let it define us as this is who we are because this is how somebody treated us at some point in our life, or this is how somebody talked to us or talked about us in our life. We don't have to own that anymore. If that is something, if something similar to her happened to you, and that's what sent you on this downward spiral, that you've been on for your health, that's okay. But you can decide right now, if this is the first time, that you have the power to not internalize that and accept that for who you are. And you can start going and finding a way to be healthy and process your emotions in a healthier way. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But we also, you guys, I acknowledge, like, the cultures. Like, you may not have been taught how to be healthy. That was me and so many people. We talked about that a little bit. So maybe you've had a traumatic thing happen. Maybe you're the culture you grew up in. And I'm not talking to police. Mine did not have a clue what health looked like. Therefore, it's no fault of theirs. They just didn't know how to teach me how to be healthy. And I had to learn and teach myself how to be healthy with people that I be healthy. So maybe it's your culture of your family. Maybe it's your the culture that your family just didn't like to exercise, or whatever it may be. So those are things that we know we're all dealing with. But you've got to acknowledge, what is it? What's the root cause that causes you to be living and doing to yourself what it is that you're doing that's not healthy for you, that doesn't serve you and doesn't make you the best version of yourself to put out there into the world. And so those are things I want you thinking of, because if you have stinking thinking about your health, you're gonna struggle harder, you guys, to build this business. And that's okay. I'm not saying you should give up and quit. I'm just challenging you and preparing you. You may have to work harder because you're having to fix your brain in from just wrong thinking in general, not just about food. You're working on something bigger than just a healthy body. You're going to have to work on a healthy mind in order to be able to stay and deal with the emotions that we all get hit with on this journey as we build Arbonne. If you are, if you have, bad thoughts, or you can't handle somebody saying something to you because you struggled with that, and that's why you internalize and eat food in an unhealthy way for comfort. When somebody rejects you, rejection is one of the biggest things that people struggle with in this business. And if that form of rejection comes in Arbonne and it flashes back some kind of rejection, just like Rachel felt whenever her dad was yelling and screaming at her in the car when she was trying to drive, that is going to be the same kind of emotion that drives you to go eat more or be unhealthy in whatever way you negatively deal with that emotion, instead of growing in your mindset and your strength and getting to the point where you are able to go, you know what? They're saying no to me, but that doesn't hurt me. That's not going to stop me. It's not going to define me. None of that. But do you guys see the connection there? I mean, as much as this chapter is about weight, it's more about the wrong mindset of processing what happens to us in a negative way and letting it dictate our future. What happens to us is not what defines us. It's who we become through the process that does. So what are you going to do? Are you going to be defined as a victim because you were treated badly, and we all get treated badly, you guys? Are you going to define yourself as a victim? Or are you going to define yourself as a victor? Because you can. You can be victorious over your thoughts. You can't be victorious over what somebody else thinks, but you can be victorious over what you think about you. You have that control. And what you need to know is this is not me yelling at you. This is me helping you get the power that you have and engaging you in it, so that you don't have to suffer the consequences and no longer let what those other people think of you, those skeptics in your life, whatever they may be and look like, think of you. So choose truth, you guys, based on how you want to live today. If you keep repeating and keep thinking the same way that you've always thought that created this and started all of this process for you, then you're going to keep getting what you've got. And none of us are here in Arbonne for our health, our business, our finances, whatever, because we want to stay the same. We're all here because we want to grow in some way, shape, or form. And so this is one of those areas where we're going to have to admit that we need growth, and we are going to need to go to work and start learning how to develop different mindsets and pathways to healthy thinking, instead of letting our brain always default to the negative thinking that we have and have hung on to, because it's not serving us well. It's not going to help you grow from here. So hang on a second, let me see where I'm at. Okay, I think I've already talked about all those. She just talked about how unhealthy and stuff, divorce is. But you guys, I want to say this one thing, and I mean, I know I feel like I'm like yelling at everybody, and partly because I'm in a loud car and I'm in headphones and I feel like I can't hear, and I hope you can hear it. But if you feel like I'm yelling at you, don't think I'm yelling at you, but I am passionate. I mean, that is what I do want you to know, is that if my voice sounds strong in this, I am passionate about this, because I have seen it hurt so many people in my life that I'm like, if only you could believe and think right, you would not have to live like you've lived for the rest of your life. From this day forward, you could live your best life. And I don't care how much life you have, it would be the most exhilarating part of your life if you get this. And it is my passion. It's why I absolutely love what I get to do in Arbonne, is to help people learn how to get healthy and think healthy, because I have had to learn it myself, and I know the difference that it has made in my life because I have. On page 177, you guys, she talked about how that she wished, not for the first time, that she was the child that he had lost, because that's how her dad made her feel. But you guys, that's just how sometimes emotional pain affects us. But again, it isn't the right thinking. And we have to be able to correct that thinking. It's called survivor's guilt. And it is where we can turn what we struggled with, we can turn that and use it for good, you guys. We don't have to just sit there and feel guilty. I have a little bit of survivor's guilt that I, out of everybody in my family, have been able to excel in areas of my life, with my health, with my finances, with my freedom and my flexibility. I have survivor's guilt. But you know what? I could sit here and I could feel guilty, and I could just sit back and be small and live small, because that would make everybody else feel better. I can't do that. What I do with my survivor's guilt is I go out on a mission with a passion, what you're getting this morning, and do my best to go, you know what? I used to be like that. I made changes. I got help. I did whatever. And now I'm living my best life ever. And you to have a vehicle that people at the same time. I remember Rita Davenport back in the early days of I started my business, and she said the reason why she came to Arbonne, our past president, was that she was a motivational speaker, you guys, and she would speak and inspire and get people excited about what they could do with their life. And then they would come up to her after the talk and they would say, okay, but how do I do it? And she didn't have a vehicle for them. You know what's so cool, you guys? I have a vehicle. We have a vehicle. You have a vehicle. You have a vehicle to get you healthy. You have a vehicle to get and help get everyone your life touches healthy at the same time. We don't have to feel guilty. We don't have to live small. We can boldly go out there and use the gifts that we have been able to be given because we've been faithful, and we can make a difference in this world and help make a positive impact with our guilt and turned into passion. So that is what I love, is we've got a vehicle, you guys. That's why I'm so passionate, because I believe in you. I believe in every single one of you, because I know who made you, and I know he doesn't create junk. And I know that we all have the ability within us to do far more than we ever imagined, guessed, or requested in our wildest dreams, because he can work within you, whatever that is for you. For me, it's God, but he can work within each and every one of us and help transform your life when you start to believe about you what he believes about you and created you to be, and what I believe about you and other people in your life that are in this business with us, helping to lead you and empower you and equip you to be confident in everything that you do, and know that even though you may have come from a long line of emotional eaters. I mean, who hasn't come from a long line of emotional eaters, you guys? It's the easiest thing to do. Who doesn't love great comfort food? Who doesn't love, all the things that are bad for us? And what you need to realize too is that the world is not for you. The world is against you. I mean, we get stressed out, we have bad things happen, and we need comfort. And the most convenient thing out there are the unhealthy foods that you could go grab quick and be able to eat and live on. And it's just feeding this unhealthy cycle in you. That's what we are here to do, is help people break those cycles, but they're not easily broken, you guys. It has been sometimes for generations. My family, generation after generation after generation, was unhealthy. I don't know a healthy person in my family that knew how to live healthy before Arbonne. So you have to be the one. You are here for a bigger reason and purpose, and far more than you probably even realize, because you are being used as a vessel to help make a difference with your family, probably more than anybody else. I say all the time, if the only people in all my career got healthy were my family, we have to that if you weren't taught healthy coping skills, this is what you're having to relearn. This is the brain work that you have to do. And we will get better at it, just like like last week we talked about grief and how you don't get over it, you get better at it. We're going to get better at dealing with everything in life in a more healthy way because we're developing skills. If you do what John Maxwell says with his word knowledge, and you don't just let this be knowledge for you, that you actually take it and do something with it. And that's where real change happens. And when you will start to see change, not only in your physical health, but in your business health, in your financial health, and in every other way, because we just start thinking healthier and developing healthy skills. And the same healthy mindset and skills that we live to give ourselves boundaries with our health and wellness physically are the same skills that we give ourselves boundaries with financially. Do you guys realize that all of it is connected? It all goes back to like whenever I say messy house, messy life. Lindsay, bless her heart, she's my cluttery kid. And she has been the one this week. She's like, I am getting my house organized. She has this little tiny house and a whole lot of stuff in it. And she's like purging and cleaning and getting it organized because she wants to get control. She's working to develop that skill of getting better control and getting better at not being a clutterer and having boundaries so that the rest of her life can be that clean and in control, just like her home. So you guys, one thing feeds the other areas of your life, and we have to get good at it in one area to be good at it in all areas. But the good work you do here is going to spill over into the good work that you do everywhere else. She talked about how food was an easy companion. Food never let her down. She said, eat until you're ugly, worthless, and the outside finally matches the inside. That was that ugly thinking controlled by emotions. It was not her being in control of her emotions. And that's what we have to do, especially in this business, because like I said, it's an emotional business. You've got to have the right mindset and strong mindset to be able to do this and not punish yourself with every no that you hear in your business, and not punish yourself with what you think the skeptics out there are thinking of you, and then let it internalize into you and create something bad out of you. We are our worst enemy, you guys, but we can grow out of it. And I am here to, I see Allison Reed and I'm like, she's not looking at me, but I'm like, that's your throat punch for the day. That's the thing. Like, I love you. I care for you. I have compassion for you and where you are and how you feel in your life. All of you. I'm not just talking to Allison here. All of you. But your throat punches, get over it. Get over it, you guys. Grow up, grow out of it, and do what you have the ability to do, which is be the best version of you, and then turn around because you got victorious and go out there and use it to make a difference in other people and help them learn they can too. She says that her weight was no longer just a part of her like teeth or hair. It was now something that defined her. It was a testament to all the ways that she was, in all the ways she was wrong. Huge problem, you guys. And she said, then she got mono, she got sick, she lost weight and thought that her life was going to be perfect because she thought everybody that was a size 2 had the perfect life. You guys, that is just, I mean, seriously, I hope you know we're not, that, I call it elementary. If you still think that just because somebody's gay, I know we thought like that maybe in high school. I thought that when the girls were little and I was the chunky girl. I thought, oh my gosh, that's, all the guys like them because they're pretty. Well, guess what? Their life isn't any better than mine. And pretty girls struggle with things that I struggle with just like I do. They pull their panties up just like I do. So you have to just not think with that kind of thinking. Sorry, can somebody mute on there? Let me see if I'll try to mute everybody. You will. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So we have to be hyper aware, you guys. If you're hyper aware of what you think, You have to be hyper aware of how and when you hear yourself talking to yourself, so that you can push back on that wrong thinking and let people and stop letting, you know, that overrun your life. I talked about getting healthy is not convenient, because when you're stressed and you just want to grab stuff, the things that are convenient are unhealthy foods. But what I do want to say is that she talks about then she gained all the weight back, and then she started doing diet pills and doing things that we know, you guys, don't work. We understand that in our bond. But what I say here is diets fail. The yo-yo, where you lose weight but you gain more, that's a trap that people get into. And what I hope you understand and have been equipped and empowered to believe is that you can forgive yourself. When I teach healthy living, is to give people grace for how they got to where they are. As much as it may not sound like I'm giving you grace this morning, I give you grace that you got where you are because you were sold in this world an unhealthy version of what health and wellness really look like. You were sold diets. You were sold. A girl on our healthy living say she accidentally ate pasta that was 70% corn. She was sold healthy, I promise you, because it said gluten-free. Forgive yourself if you were sold, and fell in the trap of dieting and got yo-yo dieting, and then had more weight gain as a result of it. Forgive yourself of all of that, because it is just where the society has played on people's emotions and finances. But now we're smart, we're educated. And that's what I told her this morning. I said, you know what? That's a gift. Don't worry, you're fine. Just know that's your clue that we have to be hyper aware of what we have to do to protect our own health, because there's nobody out there protecting it for you. And diets are what fail out there, not you. No diet works. No one is ever going to live keto forever. They'll probably die if they do, but they're going to have someday a carb. And if they truly want to say, I'm a keto, dedicated person, well, guess what? You just failed because you ate a carb. Well, let's say in Arbonne, 30 days. I want you to live 30 perfect if you can. If you make a mistake, or you just choose that I'm going to have, a party this weekend and enjoy it when I'm there, that's okay with me, as long as you have the mindset to get back on the right track. Some people, like Terry says, they let themselves have one thing and then they hit that slippery slope and they go down. If that's what your head does and your mindset is, then you know what? You can't afford to go have a weekend and enjoy a party that you were invited to. You either have to stay committed and not cheat at that party and not live the lifestyle of how Arbonne teaches you, or you have to not go to that party because you don't have the mindset and the willpower yet to say no to things that are going to keep you from being healthy. So those are things that you have to understand, is that it's not your fault, but you have to be aware at how strong you are. And do I have enough muscle yet to go out into this world and not end up on that slippery slope that Terry talks about? She talked about gaining weight when she was pregnant. We all do, who doesn't? But there's a healthy way to gain weight, you guys. But what she did say, and that is truth, and I have said it, but she says, this is where I should tell you. And not only should she tell you guys, it's truth. She said, and she's saying, but I'm not, I am telling you this. You are worthy and you are loved just like you are. You are good enough just like you are. But are you able to get better and continue to grow? And are you going to need to in order to be able to be good enough and good, just like you are for the next hard thing that's coming into your life? Yes, you are. So your Creator, He delights in the intricacies of you, and He is filled with joy when you live out your potential. And that is true, you guys. When we live out our potential, we're using and being faithful with the gifts that we were given. And that brings joy to the Creator who gave them to us, if you're a believer. That's what we believe. And so, yes, we need to work to be our best. It's how we glorify and honor and give back what we have been given. And I don't care if it's, I mean, for you, it may not be God, but who helped you be healthy? Who helped you take control of your health? Honor and glorify that entity, whatever it is for you, so that you have something that is bigger than you, that you're doing it for. That's what I love, is that I know I have, a Holy Spirit living inside of me. I am the home for that. I want that home to be healthy. I want that home to be a reflection of what he can do in somebody's life whenever we are following our life. That's what I want for me. But you've got to find, what is it that keeps you home? What is it that keeps you on your path to being that version that you want to be for the rest of your life? For me, that's what it is. And it's what helps me, push back against skeptics or critics or whatever, because I know I was fearfully and wonderfully made, and I am loved just like I am. And if I want to change or do anything better or need to, I have the power within me to do it, period. And I don't have to worry about anybody else. I need to go find people. I need to find mentors that I can trust, that can lead me in the direction that I want to go for my life. But she says, I believe that humans were not made to be out of shape and severely overweight. I think we function better mentally. Absolutely. We function better emotionally. We function better physically when we take care of our bodies with nourishment, water, and exercise. The lie that she used to believe was that her weight would define me and that it would speak volumes about who I was as a person. Today, I believe it's not your weight that defines you, but the care and consideration you put into your body absolutely does. So you guys, as much as we say it isn't who you are, it says how you feel about you. That's what she's saying here. What the way we have cared for ourselves says this is how little or how much I care. And that is a message that you want to put out to people, that you do care more than most, maybe. But you can show them how to care that much with you. So it is, we have to just believe in our truth, and believe what he believes about you, believe what we believe about you, and start working to develop those beliefs and strength to push back against people who may have said, other things about you. She says, all of these things are justified. All of these are valid reasons to negate caring for yourself if you struggled with something hard in your life. But she says, for a time. There are sometimes, you guys, I don't have time to get to the gym. There are times that trump me, being able to eat healthy as I would like to, for a season. But I'm telling you, my mindset and my body now knows how to crave back the healthy. I want, as soon as I can, to get back on a healthy routine and a healthy diet and a healthy workout for myself, because I know how it feels to live both ways, and I crave the good way now. She says childhood drama is not a life sentence. That's where we have to mature, you guys. We have to grow up and start realizing that we can quit blaming our childhood traumas that we all experience. I mean, who didn't experience childhood trauma in junior high and high school, or in a home with an unhealthy family? We all did, you guys, but your families also did the best they could, because they probably came out of an unhealthy home. And we can choose to repeat that cycle, or we can choose to work and grow out of it. And she says, the reason I know it's true is the world is filled with people who have had it so much harder than me and so much harder than you, and yet they show up for their lives every single day. And we can choose. She said, you can choose whether or not to stay there. You can choose to continue to abuse your body because it's all you know, or you can choose to live in that place because it's the path of least resistance. Sometimes, you guys, let's just face it. Can we just say we're lazy? Can we just say we haven't, wanted to put up enough muscle and discipline to do everything as good as we can possibly do it based upon the ability and knowledge that we have up until today? If we know better, like John Maxwell said, but we're not doing better, then honestly, you guys, it's no longer lack of awareness. It's no longer I was raised up in a culture that didn't know any different anymore. You're in Arbonne. You know what healthy looks like. You know what we can do to get healthy. You now have to say, okay, now I need to grow out of being lazy. I need to grow out of being undisciplined. I need to grow those muscles. And that's what we do whenever we start going and moving in the direction that we know we can. But we have to stop making excuses for, and she says, please stop telling yourself that you deserve this life. Please stop justifying a continued crappy existence simply it's the way it's always been. Just as you've chosen to stay in this place for so long, also choose to get yourself out of it. So you need to be healthy, you guys. You don't need to be thin. And that is truth. You guys, thin is not the goal. Healthy is the goal. And discipline and hard work is what's going to help keep you healthy in every area of your life, from physical to finances. And she says, does your creator love you as you are? Yes. But he gave you a body with all of its strengths and even its weaknesses as a gift. And it is an offense to your soul, or to that Holy Spirit in me, to continue to treat myself badly. And she says, I tell you that if you truly want to practice self-love, you'll start with your physical body and do the work to figure out why this is an issue in the first place. Figure it out, you guys. Get to the root of the problem. Because when you get to the root of that problem, then you're going to be able to have it be all fixed in other areas of your life. She says, do you think I'd understand my emotional eating if I hadn't done years of therapy to get to the bottom of it? It takes work, you guys, sometimes to figure out our intricate, crazy thinking brains. And that and we have to have develop new habits to get there. She says, do you think I magically figured out how to lose weight after a lifetime of living off of cheese and gravy? She said, no, I had to work. I had to go to study, and I had to study and go to therapy. I had to try to figure out different workouts until I found some I love. And you guys, that's some of those things, like health-wise, like if you don't know how to work out, this is one of those things. I was clueless. I had no idea how to go to a gym, and everybody had their stations and they were working on their machines and all of this stuff. And I was like, I felt like an idiot going to a gym because I didn't know how to do any of that. And I went in and I wanted to get healthy, but because I felt so insecure and not confident in what I needed to do when I got in there, and I felt like everybody was staring at me. I wanted to run away. So you're starting in the world. You start, and you adjust. I'd like you to figure it out. You're in there, full insecure. People are cheering for you. People are so proud of you. If they are on a health journey themselves, they know how much work it is. They know we didn't start out being a know-it-all in the gym either. we had to learn, and we know what it felt like, and we stayed with it, and we're further down the road, and we're cheering you on to get in there and stay in there so that you someday can be further down the road too. So part where you're comfortable to figure out how to go, and get a workout that worked for her that she could do, like to give them enough. So passionate about Arbonne, I could just wake up and start working Arbonne and never turn back on my day to take care of me. So what I do to keep myself committed to my health is I commit to going to workout classes at my YMCA, because that's what I have, and it starts at 9:30, and sometimes I'm tardy, but you know what? Get there, and I'm there, and I'm going because it's an appointment on my calendar. Make an appointment for your health. Get there so that you can at least do 30 minutes. I'm still wet and sweaty if I get in the last 30, 45 minutes of my hour workout, and I'm proud of me for going. I'm probably even more proud of me for going on the days that I'm tardy, because I know I was so tempted to not go at all. And instead, you know what I did? I got up and I pushed past the resistance, and I decided to discipline myself and to apply the knowledge that I know that I'm going to feel better that day when I go and get more done and be more effective in my Arbonne business that I love working so much, if I just go take care of me first. Self-care, you guys, has to be there, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be the best caregiver for anyone else in your life that is depending on you and that needs you. And at the end of the day, you guys, we talked about diets, but it is calorie in, calorie out. So many people on our healthy living program, you guys, they're like, they have a weight goal and they're not losing. But I'm telling you, what you put in your shakes, even though it's healthy, is still way more calories than what you are expending out and putting back out. If you're putting more calories in a body than you're letting out of your body, you're not going to see weight loss, and you will see weight gain, even with healthy food. So these are just little things that we have to start learning, the basics. That is the basics of weight loss and not health and wellness. Health and wellness is clean eating and everything, but weight loss and healthy weight goals is understanding calorie in, calorie out, the end, just like she says. And learning how to be healthy is hard if you've never done it before, but lifetime of habits can be broken. And the mechanics are actually truly very simple. So she said that what she did was she changed her mindset. She created different mantras in her head, and had to start giving and playing positive self-talk instead of, Shad Helmstedter's what you say to yourself. And those things matter, you guys, because you are your worst enemy. As much as you want to blame your emotional trauma and abuse from somebody in your past life, you're the one that keeps hitting replay, and you have the control to stop it if you can control your head and get it to stop making yourself hit replay automatically because you don't even think about it. You're not working on it. Edit the media, you guys, and this is where, get off of Facebook, quit looking at those magazines and thinking those people have it any better. And in reality, you guys, all those movie stars that are so airbrushed on those magazines, when you see them in person, Lindsay just spotted some movie star in person at the airport. Well, his picture that he has on social media or whatever out there in the public for the public to see doesn't look anything like the real picture of him in that airport. Nobody does. I mean, I've gotten to see several movie stars up close. Their skin needs Arbonne. And they are not healthy looking. They're airbrushed. They're fake. Like, they're not even real. And that's what, you guys, if you are looking at those people and it gets you down, stop looking at them. Stop following fake people. Follow the people that are willing to show you who they really are. They're willing to show you their wrinkles. They're willing to show you their imperfections and let you know they're not perfect either, but they're working on progress. And those are the people that you want to be able to follow, because they're going to give you hope. They're not going to make you feel worse about yourself because they're trying to make you think this is who they are instead of this being who we all are, and we're all working on it just like each other. We sit down and we all do the same thing. So be willing, you guys, for everybody else. I be willing to be vulnerable. Be willing to show yourself in not your best light so that you can help people see it's okay. We're not judged by all of that. And it's okay to not look perfect all the time. We can sometimes look just like, we did when we got up out of bed, and them not see that, we have makeup on, hair fixed, all of that. Let's just be real. That's my goal and my prayer for all of us in Arbonne that are out there trying to help people feel comfortable enough to join us in this journey so they can start being healthy, and that we don't make anyone feel less than because we're so perfect and they're not. Do you guys get that? If we have to make everybody think we're so perfect, do you think they're going to want or feel comfortable to follow us on their non-perfect journey and start their journey? It's okay to say, this is who I am for real, or this is who I even was before I got control of my health. But that's what's going to inspire people to go, well, gosh, I love you. I relate to you. You're normal. I think you can help me because I see where you were, but I see where you're going or where you've gotten, and I want to go with you. So that's the food chapter. The drinking chapter, you guys, the I need a drink, you guys, the need, anytime you say I need, just listen to yourself and acknowledge, because alcohol and the Xan I talked about, those are addictive. That's addictive, acidic, and allergenic things that we need to purge from our body. And alcohol and drugs are made to be addictive. I'm not saying and judging. I am passing zero judgment on anybody. But these are some things that I want you to think about. So I want you to realize that it can be a slow fade. We can start out just like she did, hardly drinking at all and even judging people who did drink. But where are you? Don't judge anybody else. Find out where you are, because we have to do gut checks for ourselves. Believe me, I test myself just like she does. I'm like, I love wine. I like enjoying a glass of wine in the evening. It's what I like to do. Every now and then, you know what? I do it so much because my lifestyle has the freedom and flexibility to do that. I test myself and I go, can I go without wine? And I love that I can do it. And I go, wow, I didn't even notice I didn't have wine for the last week or whatever it may be. So you guys, can you do a test for yourself and see, can I go without it? Or do I feel the need for it in order to be able to cope with my life? Because it's not going to help you cope. It's going to help you. It's going to create another problem for you. And the sad thing is, you may be so, I don't want to, inebriated is what I want to say, but it doesn't even have to be that you're inebriated. You can be so taken out of your focus because you've got this effect going on in your body that you don't even notice the destruction that's going on around you with this addiction that you haven't noticed. So you guys, I just want you to realize it can be a slow fade like she had. Test yourself and make sure you're keeping tabs on you, because you are the only one that can really do that. Alcoholism in families is real, you guys. And you know what? There's debates, and who knows if it's scientifically proven or not, whether it's genetic or cultural. But I'm telling you, if you've been around it, you have been affected by it, and you can be victim to it for sure, whether it is genetic or whether it's cultural. So you need to be hyper aware of what you have had modeled to you. What did your family do to cope? And if that's what they use to cope, guess what you're going to have been taught? Well, whenever my mom got stressed out and needed to unwind, she had wine, or she, used and got drunk to cope with all that was going on in our lives. That's what your kids are going to go, well, I'm feeling a little stressed. Maybe I should try that wine mom had, or, that drink dad had. So you guys, be aware of what you were taught. Think about it. Like, what did I have modeled to me? What was my environment? What was my culture? Because we can have wrong modeling, but more importantly, you need to realize, am I wrong modeling to my own kids and my own family right now? And am I creating a dependency in myself and teaching my kids to be dependent? So and I also, you guys, this is a personal opinion. This is my opinion. But I know some families that do drink, but they hide it from their kids. Or can I just say, so they think they hide it from their kids? Because when you're drinking, you really don't even know what you're doing sometimes, and you're not as slick and cool as you think you are, and you slip up and your kids notice. But what it does is it helps your kid, it makes your kids think, gosh, this is something that is dirty or hidden in our family, and I can't bring it up or talk about it to my mom and dad. And so they're not going to be able to think they can come to you and talk to you about alcohol or how they should treat it or learn about it. Make it an open conversation. I mean, it's out there in their world. Help them know how to deal with it. But if we're just saying, say no, say no, say no, and we hide what we are doing to try to, model, just don't do it like I don't do it, even though they know you do it, then they go, okay, I don't even know who to ask and help. And then they start learning from their friends how to deal with alcohol or use alcohol. And you guys, that's a big, scary thing. I want to be the one to teach my kids everything and make sure they're taught the way I want them to learn if you're a healthy person. So that's just my 2 cents on that one. Don't make it a bad thing. We got to talk about stuff, you guys. Remember CCPP. Everything starts with communication, and open communication in every area of your life with your family is going to be what helps your family know and be equipped to be able to help their take care of their lives. The other thing I want you guys to do is if you want really a great check, ask a friend, not your alcoholic friends, not the friends that you're drinking with, but if you kind of think, I wonder if I do have a little bit of a dependency going on here, or maybe I have a lot of dependency, maybe I have a problem. Ask a friend that you know loves you and will support you and help you all the way through that journey in getting healthy. Don't trust them to help. But like I said, don't ask somebody that's going to say, no, you're great. Just like those leaders in Arbonne that, you're struggling and that you go to them and you're like, what's wrong with me? You're like, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. No, you're not fine. You need to fix it. Get the leader that's going to tell you you're not fine. You need to fix this or you're never going to grow a business. I mean, that's what you need so that you can actually realize I need help. But ask a friend to tell you what is it that they see you doing and is there an area in that part of your life that you need to fix. And the other thing is, you guys, ask your kids drink more than you wish I did, because you guys, that matters. If your kids are seeing you be affected by alcohol and they know, I know kids that had parents that drank so much and they were affected, and you could just see them start to go into that slow fade of pulling back and stuff. Let your kids know that communication, CCPP, with your kids, so that you can say, does my drinking bother you? Does my drinking make you feel uncomfortable? Does my drinking make you feel like I treat you differently than what you should be treated? Ask them, but be willing to hear the truth, because that probably matters more than what your friend will tell you, if you're willing to hear it. Because I'm telling you, your friends are watching, and sometimes it hurts to hear truth, but it may be that shock factor that you needed to be able to start making the changes that you have and need to make. So that's basically, you guys, what I wanted to talk about. And just developing healthy coping skills is what all of these chapters are about. And knowing that it's going to take time, it's going to take work, you're going to have to build up the muscle to be able to teach yourself better ways of handling stress and getting through the painful seasons in your life. And it's going to take, breaking down and getting broken. Sometimes, being brokenhearted, that your kids are honest and say, you know what, Mom, I hate it when you drink. I hate you when you drink. You know what? That can feel horrible. I mean, it's going to feel like a punch in the gut. But man, wouldn't you love to know that your kids could tell you that, and and to let them know that you love them so much that you are willing to hear the hard, and that you care enough about them that for them you will fix it. Wouldn't that be cool, you guys? If that's your world and your kids are struggling silently because they don't think they have permission to tell you what they really feel, wouldn't it be so cool to be able to go and just have this sweet conversation that even though it feels like a punch in the gut when they tell you they hate you whenever you drink because of how you act and what you do and what you say and how you treat them and other people. Wouldn't it be cool to know that that was how much you loved each other, that you were willing to hear that hard and go to work on that hard because you were willing to be broken and start tearing down that ugly, weak version of you to get to a better, healthier, stronger version of you. So you guys, the things that helped her is learning new healthy habits, and developing habits takes time and it takes work. And then acknowledging her reality is self-awareness. And sometimes, you guys, we need help being aware. Just like I said, ask your kids. You know, I mean, if your spouse loves getting drunk with you, don't ask him. He's one of your drunk friends, or she's one of your drunk friends. Ask your kids that aren't drinking with you and are watching you get drunk how much they love it. It's not fun. So get the truth and then go to work, because now you're aware and you care enough, because none of us would want to hurt our kids on purpose. So, and then she says, remove the temptation. Remove the temptation. Get rid of it. It's not going to be the only thing that fixes you, but it's a start. Just like cleaning out your pantry whenever we start our clean eating 30 days. It's going to be a start. So, you guys, I'm sorry. I know we go over, but you know what? I just go where I feel led. And I hope and pray that whoever needed to hear or be equipped and empowered to help somebody else hear, you got what you needed today. That's my prayer for all of you, because I love you so much. Love you guys.